If you don't know that Christianity is a covenant, you will miss heaven. You will miss the blessings of God. The greatest question many people are asking, is it true that there is life after death? Those are many questions people ask. How will you know that you are not wasting your time and praying and doing all manner of service? How will you know that every year you have spent with God in prayer, in fasting and everything, there will be response? Covenant is it. Covenant. And God does not enter into a relationship with anyone. God cut covenant with people. Anything you want to do with God and even dealing with spirits, they have to cut covenant with you. God does nothing with you unless He cut covenant with you. Spirits will not do anything serious with you unless they cut covenant with you. My prayer for you today, if there's any dark covenant you have cut yourself into, you'll be broken free. Covenant can be had by an individual. Covenant can be had or cut by a group of people. Somebody can have or cut a covenant on your behalf without you even knowing. Because any covenant that you have cut into, that person owns you. That's why I say cut. When you say something is cut, it means you are not fully yourself anymore. When you cut something into two, that thing is not fully itself anymore. It has been joined to the other parts. So that's why I say in a covenant there have to be a cutting. Meaning you have become half and the other person will join themselves to you, or the other spirit will join themselves to you through that cutting. Psalm 50 from verse 4. He shall call to the heavens from above and the earth, that He may judge His people. Gather my saints together to me, those who has made covenant with me by sacrifice. Gather my saints to me. Is God that is talking now. Your walk with God as a Christian is a covenant walk. It's not a religious walk. Christianity is a covenant walk with God, not a religious walk. Gather my saints together to me, those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. What does it show you? No sacrifice, no covenant. And no covenant, no sacrifice. Meaning a covenant will alter your life to the satisfaction of the both party. You no longer live for yourself anymore when you are in a covenant. The two parties no longer live for themselves. They live to please each other. A lady was born and was offered to the waters. Once they give birth to babies in that tribe, they put the child on the water. That's the first thing they do. When she was 18, from that dedication to the water, that covenant, the Spirit preserved her. Didn't allow her to meet any man. And no man dare come near her. She doesn't know why. When she was 18, she had a dream where she was doing wedding and they gave her ring, wedded her properly under the water. And she woke up reality with a ring, real life. No man have touched her. When she sleeps, she sees herself under the water with 5 children. As she's growing, the children are growing with her. 20 years later, when the first child under the water was 20, it was like 38. Then one man now claimed that he wanted to marry her because she wanted to marry physically. The day they got married, the man was sleeping next to the bed there. He did not wake up again. She cried that they did bury her, but in her dream, again, after the burial, she saw that her husband that she married physically chained under the water, but physically, he was dead. Many people are inside covenant. They don't even know. Why marriage fail is because people don't know that marriage is a covenant. The marriage will keep on failing because people have refused to recognize that marriage is a covenant. When you say you are marrying somebody, you are cutting covenant with that person. So you notice I said in covenant, both parties have something to lose, to sacrifice for each other. It's not when I don't feel like, you don't have any feeling again. You are now under an obligation to the other person. You are no longer yourself. That's why people are waiting for marriage to work. No, you work it to work. Intentionally, you work it to work. You see, when God made Adam and Eve, said God planted a garden and He put the husband and wife in the garden. You know what a garden means? A place where you intentionally cultivate, you choose what you want to plant. You weed the place, you take care of the place. That's what marriage is. Marriage is a garden that you intentionally plant, weed, and dress to make it work. There is marriage and there is covenant marriage. There is friendship, there is covenant friendship. There is relationship, there is covenant relationship. And God will not be your friend like that. It has to be a covenant friendship. God will not enter a relationship with you, ordinary relationship. It has to be a covenant relationship. And you know what God calls us? His bride. So we are already in a covenant marriage with Him. Genesis 15:8. So he asks and he said, Lord, how shall I know that I will inherit? So he said to him, bring me a 3-year-old heifer, a 3-year-old female goat, a 3-year-old turtle dove, and a pigeon. Remember I said no sacrifice, no covenant. Then he brought all these things to him and he cut them into two. A covenant is a cutting. He said, then he brought all these to him and cut them into two, down the middle. and placed each pieces opposite the other, but did not cut the beds. And when the vulture came down on the carcass, Abraham drove them away. Now when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abraham, and behold, horror and great darkness fell upon him. Then he said to Abraham, know certainly that your descendants be strangers in a land that is not theirs. So he's including his descendants now into the covenant. That's what is going on. And we serve them, and they will afflict them 400 years. And also the nation whom they serve I will judge. Afterward they shall come out with great possession. Now as for you, you shall go to your father in peace. You shall be buried at good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet complete. And it came to pass, when the sun went down, and it was dark, that behold, there appeared a smoking oven, and a burning torch that passed between the pieces. On that same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abraham, saying, to your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates. You see, this thing that happened here, now that great light you saw there, say that light that passed in between the sacrifice is God himself that came down and passed through the sacrifice. Meaning, God is saying, I am cutting myself into two to join myself to you also. You see, the Bible said they cut all the animals and opened a middle. So Abraham passed through it. God himself came as light and passed through it also. And the Bible says great darkness and horror fell upon Abraham, and a deep sleep came. What does it mean? It means covenant is not inconvenient. Even in the dark time, Abraham will still have to obey God. And every pain Abraham is going through, God will go through it. That's what is covenant. Anything Abraham is going through, God will go through it. If Abraham is in pain, God will go through the pain. If Abraham is happy, God will be happy. That's what covenant is. So Abraham passed through it. God himself came as light and passed through it also. And the Bible says great darkness and horror fell upon Abraham, and a deep sleep came. What does it mean? It means covenant is not inconvenient. Even in the dark time, Abraham will still have to obey God. And every pain Abraham is going through, God will go through it. That's what is covenant. Anything Abraham is going through, God will go through it. If Abraham is in pain, God will go through the pain. If Abraham is happy, God will be happy. That's what covenant is. Now, another thing you must understand is that when you are entering into a covenant, it's also called death. Covenant is death. The old you have died. Anybody that is saying is getting into marriage, you have died. In Hebrew 9 from verse 16, for there is a testament. Remember, testament also means covenant. For where there is a testament, there must also of necessity be death of the testator. For a testament is in force after men are dead. Testament means covenant. So what you call Old Testament, New Testament, it also means Old Covenant and New Covenant. He's saying for any testament to stand, for any covenant to stand, the two parties have to die. Their old self. No death, no covenant. When you see yourself walking to the aisle, some people are laughing. You are supposed to be crying because you are going to take a oath, a death sentence, that I don't have power over myself anymore. I'm changing from being alone to become joints. When they say the two shall become one flesh, you are moving from the alone to us. Anything you are doing, you have to be us-minded, us-conscious. Your body is no longer your own again. Body is now for that person. That person's body is no longer their own, now for the other person. See, there's consequence for cheating. Believe me, it's not a joke. It's that both parties will die on time, or their marriage will be ruined, or their children will be ruined. It must affect something if the covenant is tampered with. You see that it affects the finance of the family, or it brings untimely deaths, or the offspring of that covenant will be ruined. There will be a problem to the society. It will be useless. You say where there is no death, there's no covenant. And where there's no covenant, there's no death. Where there's no sacrifice, there's no covenant. Where there's no covenant, there's no sacrifice. You are sacrificing something. You know, when you catch somebody, when two couples is partner cheating, both parties, not only man or woman, you feel as if they are dying. Because a part of you is hurting you. You feel as if that person belongs to you. Because unknown to you, you are in a covenant. It dismantles the mentality of the other party. It finishes their confidence. They feel like dying. And no matter the level of apology, it's as if the more you are apologizing, you are provoking them. That is how strong covenant is. Bible says, in all their affliction, I think it's Isaiah that was saying that, he was afflicted with them. Because why? Abraham had a covenant with God. All the pain the children of Israel were going through in the wilderness, the Bible says God went through with them. It's you that think when you are going through pain, God is not going through with you. If you are in a covenant with God, God is going through any pain you are going through. Some people think God does not go through pain. Isaiah 63:9, in all their affliction, he was afflicted. In all their pain, he went through the pain, because they are now one with him. Isaiah 63:9, open it and see, so that you will not be crying and say, God, why you leave me alone? Because I told you that covenant, even in the dark time, the time of horror, it is both parties that will go through it. There's nothing you are going through as a covenant believer that God will not go through with you. It's only that you might not see him physically. There's a story, a poem in Greek methodology called Odyssey. It speaks about two lovers called Penelope and Odyssey. The man is Odyssey, the lady is Penelope. They were married for just 1 year. Odyssey had to go for war. And the woman that was pregnant, Penelope, gave birth to Telemachus, their son. Now, while the man was in the war extended to 10 years. And other warriors came back. Odysseus was still there. He has not returned. Now they came to tell the woman, they said, your husband is dead. So 108 suitors came for her. They were beckoning on her. Marry me, marry me, marry me. Your husband is dead, marry me, marry me. Or she had a covenant with the man, and she was cunningly saying no, that she has something to weave, the weaving to do for her father-in-law. Now until she finish it. So she will weave during the day and unweave in the night, just to prolong time. The 108 men came into the palace because Odysseus was a king. They came, they were just there pressuring her. Marry me. But she was waiting till 20 years. She was still waiting that he will still come. It's not today your wife travel 1 month, you have cashed one man or you have cashed one woman. Then after 20 years, Odysseus disguised himself as a beggar and returned back. And there was a contest. Only his dog recognized him. Only his dog. Because they were thinking he was a slave in the palace there. He was pretending, observing what was going on. And he saw the faithfulness of his wife. And he gave a contest to all the other kings, 108. Say, if you people can do this, which he no him can do, then you will marry. All of them tried, they failed. So he did it. That is when he revealed himself and killed the 108 king and remarried his wife again. Why I'm telling you this, because some of you don't know that Christianity is Penelope and Odysseus. You and Christ is that poem or that story. Let me show you something. Jesus said in the book of Matthew 26:28, he said, for this is my blood of the new covenant. This is Jesus talking, that Christianity is a new covenant. He's entering with us. This is my blood of the new covenant, which is shaded for many for the remission of sins. But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I will drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Meaning he's expecting as he's going, he will still come back and carry us. He said he will not. Are you seeing? No, come on, open your Bible, open it. Look at that place. You better mark that place. He's like Odysseus telling Penelope, I am going. I'll come back again. She was waiting for more than 10 years. There were many suitors, because there will be many religions that will be asking for your hand in marriage. There will be many atheists and many conditions that will try to break your covenant. Jesus said, for many will come in my name. Matthew 24:5. Many will come in my name, just as many kings came to disturb Penelope. Many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and we deceive many. If Penelope was not faithful to her covenant, she would have believed that her husband was dead. But for 20 years, she was waiting for him too. Jesus said, many will be offended and betray one another. That's Matthew 24:10. Said, and then many will be offended, will betray one another. She didn't betray her husband. She was not offended that for many years this man left me with a baby. She kept on waiting. My prayer for you, may you not be offended with Christ. 3. Jesus said many will be deceived. Matthew 12:24-11. Many will be deceived. They would have deceived her and she will marry again. But she was cunningly and intelligently postponing everything. Matthew 24:11, then many false prophets will rise up and deceive many. Number 4, Jesus said, the love of many will grow cold. He said, and because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold. For 20 years, that woman's love was still on fire. He said, Jesus, you have said to you, I can't bear it anymore. Lawlessness have increased. May your love not grow cold. Then Jesus said again, but he who endures to the end shall be saved. She endured to the end, and there was a renewing again. And the husband came to save her. And the most important thing again, Jesus said, but of that day and the hour, no one knows. This is where faithfulness play part in covenant. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. What a beautiful word, because the lady did not know when the husband will come, but she was just waiting. That is where faithfulness plays its role. I don't know when you are coming, but I will keep on waiting. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. He said, watch, therefore, for you do not know neither the day nor the hour in which the Son of Man is coming. And Jesus called those that endure to the end, he called them wise and faithful servants. In Matthew 24:45, who then is a faithful and a wise servant? A wise bride, whom his master made ruler of his household to give them food in due season. Blessed is that servant whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Surely I say to you, that he will make him ruler over his goods. But if that evil servant say in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat his fellow servant to eat and drink with drunkards, the master of that servant will come on a day when he's not looking for him, and at an hour that he's not aware of, and he will cut him in two and appoint his portion with the hypocrite. Covenant does not need hypocrisy, but faithfulness.